Past week, school safety continues to be a big topic in D.C. as the president calls on the nation's governors to help keep students safe on campus. And one of President Trump's closest aides announces her resignation from the White House. Also, Reverend Billy Graham is laid to rest in North Carolina. Here's more on those stories and all the top headlines in case you missed it.
The week kicks off with the president calling on the nation's governors for ways to bolster school safety.
We continue to mourn the loss of so many precious, innocent young lives. These are incredible people. I visited a lot of them. But we'll turn our grief into action. We have to have action.
While the president met with the country's governors, First Lady Melania hosted their spouses at a White House luncheon. And abroad, the Arctic chill, dubbed the Beast from the East, continues to send temps plummeting across much of Europe. Also on Monday, three astronauts prepared to return back to Earth as Commander Alexander Misirkin hands over a ceremonial key to a fellow Russian astronaut, signaling a change of command at the International Space Station. On Tuesday, President Trump taps his former 2016 campaign digital advisor, Brad Parscale, to lead his 2020 campaign. Also that day,
the security clearance for White House advisor and son-in-law to the president, Jared Kushner, has been downgraded. According to media reports, the president's son-in-law, along with other White House aides, received a memo on Friday informing them of this change in their status. Kushner's security clearance was lowered from top secret to secret, meaning that he will no longer be able to view top secret intelligence.
And Debbie Lesko wins Arizona's Republican primary for the state's 8th district, setting up a face-off against Democrats Hero Tiperneny in Arizona's general election in April. And this.
Well, White House Communications Director Hope Hicks appears before the House Intelligence Committee today as part of its investigation into alleged Russian meddling.
But the very next day,
the Communications Director Hope Hicks is resigning from her role in the Trump administration.
Wednesday also saw Walmart falling in line with President Trump's idea of increasing the age requirement to buy certain types of firearms, announcing its customers must be 21 years old to purchase firearms and ammunition. Moving on to Thursday, President Trump announces the U.S. will impose a 25% tariff on steel and 10% tariff on aluminum. Also, an opioid summit at the White House. President Trump announces his administration will continue to tackle the epidemic head-on with new policies and a possible lawsuit against distributors. Also that day,
and liftoff of the Atlas V and NOAA's GOES, a highly sophisticated weather-watching eye in the sky.
An advanced weather satellite launches from Cape Canaveral that scientists at NOAA say will be a game changer in forecasting and storm detection. Finally, on Friday, a shooting in Michigan leaves 2 people dead.
Following breaking news out of Michigan, where police are responding to reports of a campus shooting at Central Michigan University. Authorities say shots were fired on the 4th floor of Campbell Hall and are urging students to take shelter.
And finally, the funeral service for the evangelical known as the People's Pastor and the pastor to the presidents. Following a public viewing laying in honor in the Capitol Rotunda, 99-year-old Reverend Billy Graham is laid to rest.
Coming up in the week ahead, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says Congress will be focusing on long-planned banking legislation. Of course, school safety will likely continue to be a topic of discussion on Capitol Hill, especially after the lengthy talks this past week at the White House. For One American News, I'm Rachel Acenas.
We can use your help. Call your cable provider and kindly demand that One American News is added to your lineup. Call today.